The way I look at it is that we're in trouble in this country. We're in trouble because government is becoming more and more economical with the truth. They don't want the citizens to get the truth about about what is happening. As a matter of fact, if you look at the scenario surrounding the Niger State, kidnap of the children, it's shrouded in a lot of secrecy, mostly on the part of the government, because I don't understand how the children were kidnapped. Immediately they say 50 were
escaped.
Escaped. Then shortly after,
100 batch
were released, and then before Christmas we are now getting about 130 or something released. So by calculation, which means there are more still, with the kidnappers. And then you now ask, somebody asked a question, I think, that how much did they pay or how did they get these children out? And they said they were rescued, Not that the kidnappers released them, the word rescue would mean that maybe you had to go into some combat, activities to get the children out. And that's why we have been told how many kidnappers were neutralized, or how many of our soldiers, unfortunately were involved, and but nothing of that, the government is not telling anything about that. So I know it's not adding up, and as a serious, government, you need to be very, very factual when you're addressing your citizens, especially on issues that touches people's, lives. But the kidnapping has become an industry. And then we keep hearing how even people that are supposed to protect us are now giving their arms to bandits, hiring them or selling the arms to them. Maybe just about a few days ago, they said the police officer killed himself because of the fact that they were interrogating him and they could see that definitely everything is over for him, which means even the actors, state actors themselves are involved in this business. And government has to really come out and rearrange our security architecture. Like I said, changing faces in a broken system can never fix our security system. You can't fix the security problem we have, you cannot fix it, by saying you remove somebody yesterday, in a position, and then all of a sudden the person now becomes, again, almost, brought back into the same position, and saying that is the solution, that you are now changing the faces or changing the man's position will result into solution. But we have seen the futility of, being kind of propaganda or lying to yourself, and then because the security, as we speak today, like people are being kidnapped. Plateau State, I just read an hour ago that about 12 travelers were kidnapped by the bandits. Just some few hours ago, I read about that. So as we speak, this thing is happening. So which means we haven't gotten it right. And how do we explain a situation where something keeps happening over and over again for how many years now, and we still have not been able to come up with a solution?
And that's where some commentators have something, let me use the word, against the opposition. Talk is cheap. I was discussing with you off camera that if you tell somebody to go off smoking and you don't tell him what to do, he's going to go back to smoking. So when you said that the security architecture, like most oppositions say, something has to be done.
Yeah, the system has to be fixed.
Against the opposition is the opposition never gives out how do we solve this problem. Because if you're able to tell Nigerians, this is what we need to do, add A plus B minus 1 and put 2, and then we get it right, then maybe Nigerians will be able to say, okay, let's try this. So why is the opposition, like you talked about rescuing Nigeria, not able to come out with a picture, a good, what they need to do, what we should do.
What we should
to get things right.
What we should do is to hold people accountable. You don't give billions of naira or dollars to people to fix a problem for you, and the problem keeps becoming more and more compounding. You don't get solutions. You get the results, and nobody has been taken to court or before a serious panel or judicial commission or something like that to probe. The military, as I know, I don't know when last anybody in the military has been asked to explain about the trillions of naira that today we are spending on insecurity. A situation where you don't hold anybody to account. What do you expect, for God's sake? People will, of course, exploit the situation and then keep, making this money for themselves. We have cases that should have been dealt with. Maybe we should have solved this problem long ago. That's why I said it is something that government itself, is lying to us, being economical with the truth, and then this is why we are in this mess. If we do not have the responsibility of asking people to explain, I've given you this money, you asked me to bring this money, you asked me to buy you these arms, I bought it. What happened? Why is insecurity still happening? Why are soldiers leaving their duty post about 30 minutes to strike by bandits? And the security people have not been able to give any intelligence answer to anybody.
That was the question that the Governor Idris asked.
Exactly. Now we go on as business as usual. We will not do that, for God's sake. We will not. ADP will never do that.
What will you do instead?
We will hold people accountable. Believe you me, it's very easy.
Okay, on this call.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
I tell you, for instance, if Mr. President now says that a DPO who is in charge of a particular area, the military commander who is in charge of a particular area, that if anything happens, in fact, I will take a resignation letter from you before I post you to that area. Signed, you would have signed your resignation letter. I would just put a date there and then say you are removed. And somebody else will take your position, because which means you are not useful, and you being there is not the solution, and we need a solution so what I'm saying, government itself has been very, very compromised, with in the complicit. Actually, I would say the word complicit, because they are working for Mr. President, a police officer that now sold arms to people. He's an employee of federal government. What have they done?
Okay.